What's up, and welcome to Mouse Series of Magic, episode number 63. I drew a blank there for a second, as always. I'm James.
Hey.
Brian still has not got the hang of
Hey,
this
y'all.
thing yet.
Hey, y'all.
I mean, you'd
I'm
think,
not Sarah.
you'd think, since we did this, last week? Was it last? No, she was with us last week, the week before,
Yes. Yeah.
with Garth. Yeah, you'd think you'd have it somewhat down now.
What's
Right?
up, James?
Man, just another day in paradise, you know? How you been?
I've been pretty good.
Yeah?
Been pretty good. Yeah, just enjoying the weather, and then got 100-mile-an-hour winds outside right now.
Is it that bad? Are the winds picking up that hard up there?
I was this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I take it you did not go into the woods this morning?
No, I didn't. I didn't. No, I slept in this morning. I got up at 5.
Yeah, you need to go ahead and get your butt in the woods, get you a deer so you can get me some jerky.
I'll send you some down.
I mean, I'm waiting on it, man.
I'll send you some down.
I've been asking for since I known you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, we had some wind roll through last night. It blew me all over the road. Good piece, but it's clearly not in the northern part of Alabama right now, because we have one of our incredible Patreon members and one of the awesome agents over at Magic and Mickey Travel, Miss Evie. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. How are you guys? Obviously you're amazing and happy and cheerful, and yeah. No, the weather's beautiful now, but yeah, we had a lot of wind this morning.
Yeah. And for those of you who can't see Evie, she is actually chilling out on the porch swing in true Alabama fashion, right?
Yeah, it's lovely. It's really nice. I have a blanket, have my Thanksgiving sweatshirt on. It's amazing.
A blanket? Really, why do you need a blanket?
Because it's a little chilly. Just a little. Yeah.
What is it like in the
high 60s?
Yeah.
I guess.
Perfect.
Yeah. It's perfect. It's nice. It's actually really nice.
That's
it's a
lightweight weather.
Blanket. Yeah, you do that. Have fun with that.
Only down at Disney, right? Getting the pools.
Not
this
here.
time of year, for sure.
Yeah, because I know when we went in December, it was it got really cold. We hit that cold snap, where you was seeing about the lizards falling out of the trees and all that, right?
Yeah.
That's when we were there, but the boys Jameson really, he was like, no, we're going swimming. I'm like, oh, great. Because, we goofed. We didn't take any of our swimming stuff, right? Because, why would we take swimming suits and everything to Florida? So we had to go to Target when we got down there to get some swimsuits and everything, and then it got cold on us. And LD already making me laugh. She's calling me Luscious Locks, calling Brian Cinderella, and then she still respects Evie. So
she'll learn. It's fine.
Yeah.
I thought all of those names were for me, so I'm glad you clued me in.
Yeah, no, she's all the time commenting on my hair. I hadn't heard Cinderella. That's a new one.
That's a new one on me too. Maybe
Yeah.
she can explain.
I'm sure she will too. I'm sure she will. So anyways, let's go ahead. First off, let's talk about how, Brian, we can talk about how we met Evie, right?
Yeah.
So obviously we met through Magic of Mickey,
Mhm.
and I was convinced it just hit me. Evie and Elle are a lot alike, because I was convinced when I first met both of them that they hated me. They were out to get me. They just wanted to make me miserable. And then as I got to know both of them, I learned that it was not like that. Evie just loved giving me an absolute hard time. I mean, she would get me so frustrated.
It's my favorite.
So, and then it became a running trend. And I mean, some of the agents would be like, "Oh my goodness!" Like, I actually got who I think it was Christina Hall sent me a message one day. It was like, "Do you and Evie just hate each other?" Oh no, not at all.
No, not even a little.
Oh man, but yeah, and then did we? I think the first time we actually met was at the Christmas party.
I think so.
Yeah,
I believe so.
And Brian, that's probably the only time you've met Evie too, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, really weird because we were already new to Magic and Mickey Travel. So just walking into that place was kind of like, we knew Monday and that was it.
Yeah. And
Well,
then
I hope you all guys,
we knew
you
Jessica
both felt
too.
welcomed.
Well, we definitely did. It was awesome.
Good.
well,
For sure.
and you kind of knew me and Sarah.
Not really. Not at that point in time.
Yeah, you did.
No.
Because you'd already done the magical memory thing with us, hadn't you?
No.
Are you sure?
Yep. It was after that.
I don't remember. It's been a long time ago. It's nearly a year ago, like 10 months ago, for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So Brian, quit talking about yourself, okay? Let's move on to Evie, because
I'm sorry.
this is about her, right? All right. So, Evie, what is it about Disney that really, like, what is it that sucked you into it? Because we all have that moment where it just kind of hit, right?
Yeah. I grew up in a house. We had a rough childhood. I know we all have our stories.
Right.
But my mom is amazing. And we always had music going. We were always singing, we're late, we're, spoonful of sugar. All of those classic Disney songs were sung and going on in our house when we got VHS players. That was some of the first movies we bought. Disney was a part of my life even when I was a really small child, like a huge part of our life. And my mom is not a Disney freak like I am, but she was a big fan. She actually took her grandmother and her mother and youngest sister and brother during the first year to year and a half that Walt Disney World was open. They visited the Magic Kingdom probably in 78 or 79. So it was a big part of her life. And that was just a really special treat she got to do with her family. And so, we were just already sucked in. It was already a big part of our culture, a big part of our life here. And so when I was about 10, I got to do a behind the scenes tour of the Magic Kingdom, got to see the utilidors, got to see a lot of very interesting things. And the back behind the scenes things actually is what really, really cemented me. I loved seeing how much effort and work they put into making magic. And I never really thought of it like a career path for me or something I was going to do long term. But when I found Magic of Mickey, I realized that, this is my way of making magic for other people. And it's been a wild ride, but I've really enjoyed it.
How long have you been with Magic of Mickey?
8 years and a month.
Almost since the beginning, then.
Very, very close. I was within the first 2 years. Yes.
So that's a long time of making. So do you know how many trips you've actually planned?
Oh no. I hesitate to even try to
That would be a
guess.
really cool number to know, though.
Yeah, I may have to look that up. I could probably this year would have thrown me way off, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, I have a chart and I could probably look that up. That's an interesting thought.
Yeah, that would be really cool to know, because when you've been doing it that
Yeah.
long, and I mean, and you obviously you're going to have repeat clients and everything, but just the sheer amount of lives that you were able to help impact, that'd be almost overwhelming to know. Like, wow.
Yeah, how much effort and work and time I've put in. I've worked with a lot of first-time visitors, which I think is really, really cool. That's kind of my favorite. Which, I mean, I love my repeat clients too, beyond measure. But I am crazy about those first-time trips. Those are extra special.
Yeah. So I gotta say this real quick, because we do have an answer somewhat about the Cinderella comment. Elle says she legit has no explanation for Cinderella. Would you rather be Flynn or Prince Philip, Flounder, Hopper? I'm thinking Hopper, honestly. So Lisa says should let the chat vote, but yeah. And Elle also says that she loves your glasses, Evie.
Oh, thank you, Elle.
But yeah, so it all just started as a child, huh? Like,
oh yeah,
because
yeah.
you know, it's amazing the different stories, because some people started out as a child, and then you've got some people like Flounder over here that that didn't get started until a few years ago. So it's but yeah, so let's talk about some of your favorite things at Disney, because, and by the way, I don't know if you noticed the background, but I actually Facebook stalked you and stole your picture of Sleeping Beauty Castle.
Is that my picture?
That is your picture. So but you've been to, I mean, what have you not done Disney?
Well, I have done, of course, I've done the 4 parks in Florida. I've done both parks in California, and I've done the behind the scenes in Florida, and I've done Disney Cruise Line, and that is it so far. But Paris someday, hopefully, and who knows, maybe Shanghai.
Yeah, and I just want to go to Aulani.
Aulani sounds so nice.
That
so
is my
amazing.
bucket list right there. Just Aulani. I'm good there.
For 2 weeks.
I've never been a good relaxation vacationer. I am a thrill seeker and a go. So Aulani sounds amazing for like 4 days for me. And I feel like at that point I'll be like, I got to do more things. I got to move.
Well, there's a lot to do in Hawaii still, though.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. A lot of touring, a lot of fascinating things.
Yeah.
Another reason why I say 2 weeks is the time change.
Oh well, yeah, that's a good point.
Because how far behind us is Hawaii?
I can't remember. I know Alaska's 4 hours.
Yeah, and I was thinking they were probably 4 hours too. But yeah, that would be brutal, and just getting out there in general is going to be tough too, because there's not an easy way to get to Hawaii, really.
No,
but man, I imagine it would be worth it. So what is out of everything Disney you've done, what is your favorite thing? If you could only choose one to do for the rest of your life, Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line.
It would be World. It would be World, hands down. Walt Disney World has so much to do. I loved Disneyland, but Walt Disney World is home. That feels like home when I go there.
So which park?
Magic Kingdom.
Magic Kingdom?
All day long. Yeah.
Really? So that's your favorite one?
That's my favorite.
Man.
I'll tell you what I did on my last trip. I actually went down for our Magic of Mickey training that we had it's been a month ago. 2 months ago. Oh my goodness. Time has really been flying by. But on my last day, I was all by myself and I had about 4 hours to kill. So I went to Magic Kingdom and I turned on my camera and I videotaped a full walkthrough. it's in segments. I still had to put it together.
Mhm.
But I spent the whole day there, or my whole 4 hours that I had free, just by myself, wandering around. Loved it.
I do want to take a solo trip, but I don't know how much time I would actually spend in Magic Kingdom. I would probably be stuck in Hollywood Studios.
And Hollywood Studios is a hard second for me. I mean, it's definitely worth spending a lot of time, but something about Magic Kingdom draws me back every time.
And I think really the big thing that gets me about Magic Kingdom is the boys, because while when I turn the corner on Main Street and I see the castle, obviously it's like, finally we're here, right? It all kind of sinks in. But then when the boys turn the corner and they freak out, that's what really does it for me. So if I was going solo, I would be missing that part out. I'd miss out on that part. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I might end up having to skip Magic Kingdom all the way.
Ooh, that's painful.
We say a lot of painful stuff on here.
We do.
Okay, you get really real. I like it.
It's heart-wrenching sometimes.
Yeah. I think Magic Kingdom has a lot of hidden treasures that people don't really give enough time and attention to, which is something I think is kind of magical about it too, because I can talk to somebody that's been to Magic Kingdom fairly recently and still find things that's new and interesting to them that maybe they didn't get a chance to try because there's so much.
Now, I will say, Brian, you probably, I don't know, you might not be on the same page as me, but I might go to Magic Kingdom and probably wouldn't do a single ride if I was by myself and just be able to go around, not have any responsibilities, right? Just make sure I don't get ran over by a stroller or a wheelchair, and kind of just take in all of the little things.
I could go to all the parks and not ride any rides and just take in atmosphere and stuff. That's just how Walt Disney World is, That's how I feel about it. I mean, the rides are just a bonus to me. I love the rides, but
could you go to Animal Kingdom without doing the safari though?
I mean, is that really? No, probably not. But I mean, it's Animal Kingdom. I mean, once you go into Animal Kingdom, you just kind of immersed in it. So
right,
you don't have to do the safari to see animals either. There's all kinds of cool stuff to see.
Yeah, there really is, and just all of the little things. There's so much going on in Disney that we don't see when we're just kind of going through, and we've got this mission, But yeah, so let's move to rides. So we know Magic Kingdom is your favorite part. Hollywood Studios is a close second. Let's go ahead and talk about that. What's your third favorite?
I always said that Epcot was my second until the Star Wars Galaxy's Edge opened, and that pushed Hollywood Studios up in my book. So I guess Epcot would be third, and then that makes Animal Kingdom fourth, but it's still amazing. Like I have a really hard time with these questions.
Yeah. Like we said, we say a lot of tough things on here. So let's start at Magic Kingdom then. What is your favorite ride there?
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion.
Haunted Mansion is my favorite classic ride of any of the rides. And it's, I think, my favorite at Magic Kingdom.
Okay, I got to know this. Brian, you know what I'm about to ask. Where does Space Mountain rank on your Magic Kingdom list?
Just remember.
and let me say, the chat already knew that we were going Space Mountain. They already knew that question was coming.
Okay, so I'm going to say it. I'm going to say Space Mountain ranks medium, like middle of the road on the East Coast, but on the West Coast, it ranks a lot higher. It's way cooler in Disneyland.
I want to experience it over in Disneyland for sure.
It's amazing. Yeah, and they change it up depending on the time of year. Different things happen. We got to ride Hyperspace Mountain, which had all the Star Wars features added, and that was pretty cool. But I like Space Mountain. I've always enjoyed it. It was my first roller coaster, so it was very special to me. And it's the only roller coaster I was able to get my mom on, and that's because she didn't know what was going to happen. She wasn't aware, and so once we rode it, she wouldn't ride it again. But so I managed to get my mom on one roller coaster, so that makes it very special for me. But yeah. But it's definitely not my favorite ride.
Does your mom still trust you at all?
Oh, no.
That would cause some serious trust issues for me.
No, actually, now she actually is a little more adventurous than she used to be. We took her in 2018 for one day in Magic Kingdom and one day in Hollywood Studios before a cruise, and she rode Big Thunder Mountain. So we felt like we had some personal growth there.
Nice. I really love Big Thunder Mountain. I think Seven Dwarfs Mine Train is overrated, honestly, as far as the line, the long wait that is always there. So Elle asked, Walt Disney World Magic Kingdom or Disneyland Magic Kingdom?
Still East Coast wins. It's bigger. My impression of Disneyland was, it was like I went into my house and somebody had moved all the furniture around, and I didn't expect it. It had the same feel, and a lot of the same attractions are there. Disneyland Magic Kingdom there has so many different classic rides, and I love like the classic dark rides. Those are kind of my jam. So I don't know. I can't really just say one is way better than the other, but they both have several redeeming qualities. Sorry, absolutely not an answer there.
No, that was very detailed, which I like. For me, without being to Disneyland, right? I don't, haven't made it out there yet. But for me, I feel like Disneyland would still trump, just because you have Walt's apartment, like he walked in that park, that would take some
it was definitely a very nostalgic feel. Walking in there, knowing the history of it, felt very different, and I loved that. We got to go last October, so I was very thankful we got to go before so much upheaval here in the world. I'm glad we didn't postpone that trip, because we did think about it just financially. I'm glad we didn't. Glad we went ahead and went. But Disneyland was very special.
And that's the perfect example there. That just go ahead and take the trip, right?
Yeah. Travel.
I mean, even though you're breaking down your budget and you're like, oh man, it's going to be a little tighter than we thought. You can still recover.
Yeah.
And I mean, if y'all would have postponed, who knows when y'all would have been able to go?
We may not. Yeah, it might be years before we'd ever get the opportunity to go back.
Yeah.
My son's already asking to go back.
Oh wow. Yeah, I've been wanting to go, but
I keep asking my wife when we could go back.
All right. So
just kidding.
Second favorite park was Hollywood Studios.
Hollywood Studios.
And you said Star Wars put it up there. So is Smuggler's Run or Ride's going to be your top ride, or?
Yeah, I think so. I loved both of those. Rise, of course, is heads and shoulders above anything else they've made. I still love Tower of Terror. It's still a must ride every time I go. If I can fit it in any way possible, I'm on Tower of Terror.
So
that just made somebody happy.
Yes, yeah, we're about to see Elle start blowing up the chat right now.
Yeah,
she's obsessed with it.
Love Tower of Terror.
Yep,
it is great. And it actually. So I don't know if you had a chance to listen to last week's where we did the bracket for Hollywood Studios, the rides. Rise didn't even make it. I mean, I think it made it past the first round, and then that was it. The final was actually Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster.
Yeah, and Rock and Roller Coaster is my husband's favorite.
It is. I mean, I think that's our favorite too. With Tower being a close second. And I love Rise. Definitely love it. It just doesn't seem to have the rewritability that I'd hope for. Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, part of the problem to me is just being difficult to get on. Like if I could sit there and I could ride it over and over and over in one day, I would do it. I love it, but you know, I don't know. Tower just makes me happy. I like being scared, I guess.
Well, you don't really know what to expect with Tower because they have the randomizer. So
yeah.
And you know, I still like Tower, even though it cost me, you know, a chunk of change with Jameson breaking my Apple Watch. But
yikes! Yeah.
Yeah. We're still dealing with Apple on that.
And I actually don't think Tower of Terror was open. The first time I got to go to Hollywood Studios was back when it was MGM Studios, and it was part of that behind the scenes tour, and it was a soft opening. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Evil Queen, nice. Oh yeah, the red is.
Yeah, Brian is now the Evil Queen. Didn't even get Flounder anymore. So. Oh
Lord.
Hey, you know what? Let's just go ahead since Lisa brought it up here. Let's get to the nitty gritty. Elle, what do you think about the boarding pass system?
For me?
Yeah. Just overall.
Overall, I think it could definitely be better. But then I think about it and I think of all the reasons they have to have it that way right now. It's, I really don't like it. I've been knocked out of getting a ride, so that can hurt my feelings.
Yeah, that's one of the things is, you know, you get there and you wait in line, right? I mean, you know, you're having to make that choice to wait in line or like, okay, I don't want to wait 2.5, 3 hours for a ride. Then you can live with your choice. But if it's, you know, you're, you know, well, from, you know, now, if you're on there at 7 a.m. and you still don't get that boarding pass, it's like that cuts a little deeper because it's like you have no control over that.
Yeah. I mean, we waited, and this is actually a contentious point in our house because I pushed for this, but we waited a long time during the first few weeks of Flight of Passage. I think we were in line 3 hours, and nobody in our family was happy about the wait, but we decided to do it, and we just stood in line. The line went right by the bathroom, so you had a chance to make a pit stop. It was there was a snack cart there. Yeah, I mean, it ate up most of our day, but we chose to do it. I think they should let people work for it if they want it. Let them put the effort in.
Yeah, because it's just kind of because as much as I love the My Disney Experience app, it's not perfect. It does, you know, it does crash on you, and I mean, if you get on there and then, you know, because sometimes it just randomly logs you out. You know, like you'll be on there 1 minute, you close the app to look at something else, open the app up, and you're logged out. And if you do that at, you know, right before trying to get your boarding pass, that would be really tough. I don't know if I could swallow that pill, but anyways, all right. So Epcot was your third favorite park.
Epcot.
What's your favorite ride there?
Soarin'.
Orange or green?
Soarin'?
Yeah. Wait,
Orange
no. I see. My brain's not working. I was thinking Mission Space.
Mission Space is a lot of fun. Yeah, but it's not my favorite. No, I love Soarin'. I like that feeling like I'm flying.
I haven't done Soarin'. I don't think. If I did, it was when I was a kid.
Whoa. Whoa.
Well, see, we haven't even been to Epcot.
Pull your Disney card out. What did you just say?
We haven't even been to Epcot as adults because of the boys. We want to. We use that time in the other parks right now.
I get that. I guess.
Yeah, because you know,
strap them kids in a stroller and push them around Epcot. Every person comes out tired. You should too.
Yeah.
Oh, we're definitely tired.
Beat down from Epcot.
Yeah. Epcot, yeah.
But yeah,
that's a good time.
Yeah, we're going to try to take us. We're actually trying to plan a trip with Brian and Jeannie, hopefully right after the beginning of the year sometime, and get down there and do an adults only trip. And we'll probably spend more time in Epcot then, for sure.
That'd be good. Yeah. My favorite trip we ever took, my in-laws went with us, and on Epcot Day, they went in, spent about 4 hours. We rode a few rides, and they took our son back to the room. And my husband and I had date night in World Showcase. It was one of my favorite things we did that trip.
Nice.
It was really, really great.
My favorite thing was food and wine. I love food and wine.
Love that. I love the snacks. I can't get over it. I love it.
I know.
Makes me miss dining plan.
Sebastian wants to know your thoughts on the Grand Fiesta Tour.
I love the Grand Fiesta Tour. I ride it almost every time I'm there. I missed it this last trip because I was with too many people that were going in too many directions, but we ride it as a family pretty much every time we're there.
See, Sebastian, we actually got into a debate one night because he's convinced that it's one of the worst rides on property. They need to just do it. It makes no sense. Everybody hates it. And I'm like, dude, no, like, people love that ride.
It's really cute.
So, and there he's giving you the straight face, like.
Well, I mean, I have up until recently, I had a small child. Now my son's 14, so we, those kind of rides are not. But like I already said, dark rides are some of my favorite things. I love them.
Yeah.
So that kind of goes along with my style of ride.
Right. And then Animal Kingdom. That's
Animal Kingdom. Ooh, Flight of Passage is hard to beat there, but I still love Everest. It's still neck and neck. Depends on the mood I'm in.
I think Everest won the bracket, right, Brian? I don't remember.
Everest
or did Safari?
No, Everest won the bracket.
Everest won it. Yeah. I can't get over Everest. I rode it for the first time on our last trip. Jameson was finally tall enough.
Yeah. But that was your first time?
Yeah.
Time riding it? Wow, I didn't know that. That's cool.
Well, what we did with a lot of the bigger rides was we didn't really want to do rider swap, when it was just me, Sarah, and the boys. And, one of us have to ride it by ourselves or whatever,
Right.
So it was easier with my mom this last time. She was able to hang out with Phoenix while we was able to do some of those bigger rides, which is where I developed my hatred for Space Mountain. But
I was wondering where the Space Mountain question was going, if you hated it or loved it.
Yeah, I absolutely hated it. Of course, Brian's made a good point that was, Jameson's first big roller coaster by himself, right? Because, he's not sitting next to me where I can have my arm on him and everything,
Yeah.
So I was leaned up to keep my hand over his shoulder, and then last minute, Sarah threw her bag at me and told me to hold on to it. And so, I've got a lounge fly in one arm, reaching up with Jameson on the other one. So it wasn't the most pleasant ride. All right.
I wish you had the picture where you could just kind of post it up there, because when you sent me the picture, I was like, oh, I hope he didn't ride that ride like that the whole time. And you did, didn't you?
I did the entire time. Yeah, it wasn't fun.
Yeah, my boss is really tall, and so he doesn't ride Space Mountain because he's terrified he's going to bust his head on something. Even though I promised him that they test these things with like 2x4s and really long pieces of equipment shoved in the rides to make sure they don't hit anything. But he still doesn't like it.
It's still though. I mean, well, even on Big Thunder, there were a couple places on Big Thunder where I got a little like, oh man, I'm about to hit my hand or something,
Yeah.
So
I'm about halfway through. I'm only 5'7", and about halfway through Space Mountain, I'm hunkered down like this.
Yeah. I'm 5'4", and I do the same thing.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
All right. Elle asked, where was it? There it is. She wants to know about Disney food. What's your favorite snack? Just run with it. Snack, quick service, table service, all of it.
Okay. Let's go. So, favorite quick service meal is at the Polynesian at Captain Cook's. the pulled pork nachos. They're my all-time favorite quick service food. Love them. Snack. I like savories. So I'm more of a pretzel. I mean, I like sweets too, but if I'm going to have a snack, I'm going to have like a pretzel with the pepper jack cheese inside. They serve those sometimes at Magic Kingdom. They're really good.
Yeah.
And Flame Tree Barbecue has fries that they served with pulled pork, and those were snack credit when we had the dining plan. It was really good. So I guess you can see I like barbecue too. Yeah, that's kind of a theme. I like food. My meal changes all the time. My favorite like sit down meal. I've always loved Ohana. I love like the dumplings and the chicken wings. Love that meal. So I usually say that's my favorite, but we've had some really amazing meals. I actually really enjoyed Garden Grill in Epcot. That one, I wasn't expecting a lot because I know some people that don't like it. But we loved it. It was homegrown food. There's some food that they serve that's actually grown in the greenhouses downstairs. So that one kind of surprised me as a favorite. And, I don't know what else. There's been so many good ones. I haven't done a ton of the sit-down meals myself, though. I'm working my way through them slowly.
So, yeah.
That was a lot of information to unpack. Sorry.
It was. And I can't lie. I got distracted. I'm trying to get that picture of Space Mountain up here whenever I can make that happen.
But as far as a sweet, I didn't mention Dole Whip top. I'm a huge Dole Whip fan.
Really?
Yes.
As your top over Mickey pretzels or anything?
I still think I like the pretzels better. The ones with the pepper jack cheese. Those are the ones. Yeah. But as far as the sweets, that's my favorite sweet snack.
Can't go wrong with a Dole Whip.
Ooh.
And
character dining.
Character dining.
It's been some really good ones. Gosh, I go for the characters. And some of the best character experience I had was at breakfast at 1900 Park Fair, hanging out with the Mad Hatter and Alice and Mary Poppins. That was really special, and I really enjoyed that. I think Crystal Palace is really underrated. I was a big Winnie the Pooh fan growing up, and so that's kind of nice to see them still represented in the parks. So maybe those two for me.
Yeah, I would think 1900 Park Fair, we did it for dinner, and with and honestly, I mean, you had Cinderella and Prince Charming, those were great, but you can't beat the stepsisters, and it's hard to beat them. That's an incredible experience there as far as characters.
And I haven't had a chance to try it, but I'm hearing that Hollywood and Vine, what they're doing right now, and the level of food, like they've upgraded their food, and that they're really knocking it out of the park right now. I haven't had a chance to try it myself, but I'm hearing great things.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. And your favorite resort, which was kind of a giveaway. I've already given that one away unless you changed it since you last told me. You got the Polynesian, right?
Oh yeah.
You told me the Polynesian.
I do, yeah, and
oh man, she changed.
Riviera was really nice. Polynesian is my favorite for the vibe in the general areas. And now that they're working on the room upgrades, I'm gonna keep it. I haven't seen the new rooms yet, but I think that's exactly what that resort needed, and it's gonna elevate it again. So yeah, I'm gonna keep Polynesian.
And there's the Space Mountain picture.
Oh yeah, you had too much going on, man.
Yeah.
it was not a pleasant ride at all. No.
Well, see, that's going to color how you feel about that ride. So you should definitely try riding it again when you can just enjoy it and not be worried about other people, small people.
Yep, I agree with that. And you should
All right.
definitely do it at the Halloween party with that Halloween overlay. Can't beat
Oh
it.
yeah. And then do it in Disneyland when you get there, because the music
Evie,
makes a difference.
Elle's throwing me off because she puts your name in the comment, right? So I said, Evie. All right. So are you excited about the poly refurb?
Yes, the poly refurb. I don't know about the Moana. I thought that was going to a different resort, but I may be a few steps behind. But yes, I think the Polynesian, when you're walking through the lobby and that huge beach area and the green areas around the rooms, it's gorgeous and it's so inviting and relaxing. And they have hammocks and lawn chairs sitting out, and you can just relax. That is a very relaxing place. But the rooms were dated, and the rooms needed this upgrade in such a big way. And I'm so glad they're getting on with it, making that happen.
Right. I almost feel like the poly was good where it was, though. I mean, I know, Disney's always changing, always upgrading, but I mean, just walking into the poly is it's an incredible feeling.
It is. But when you're in the rooms, I don't know. Have you stayed there? I've only stayed there once.
No, come on.
But and I had to split it with like 8 other people, so it's not like I didn't even get to take my family. It was like a work trip, and we had like a whole bunch of people in one room. But the rooms were out of date in a big way, more than some of the other resorts, especially when you go in like Riviera and Grand Destino Tower, and those are so fresh and light and airy. And then the poly still got all that old brown and orange. It just doesn't feel as nice.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm changing spots, but I'm still here.
Okay. I was like, where'd she go? And Lisa asked your favorite Epcot restaurant, which I know you mentioned Garden Grill already.
Yes, Garden Grill. We really loved, it's so weird. It's such a little place, but we actually really loved the electric umbrella for a quick service there, and it's not there anymore.
Yes.
I don't know if it's coming back, but we liked it a lot. Okay, had to come inside. It started getting too cold. We enjoy Coral Reef. That's another one that's kind of underrated. It's kind of hit or miss. Like sometimes you hear things that's not so great, but there's some really good stuff too. We had a great meal there. I think those are probably my top 2, but there's so many good ones like Beer Garden, Tepid. It's really hard to decide in Epcot. We have a hard time deciding.
All right.
What about you guys? Do y'all have a restaurant there?
At Epcot?
My favorite character? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you haven't been there. What about you, Brian?
I'm sorry, y'all are breaking up a little bit on me.
She was asking, what's your favorite Epcot restaurant?
I'm sorry, and I'm terrible about the names of these places, but I love fish and chips.
Just describe them, we'll know.
I love fish and chips, and
the
over
Yorkshire.
in the UK, yes. It's good.
I have some interesting favorite characters. I love Alice in Wonderland. The whole cast are on my favorite list, especially Cheshire Cat. I love Snow White. Goofy's my favorite of the Fab Five. Those are probably my top characters.
Ron, what about you? What's your top? No doubt. He started looking at the chat. He does that.
What's my top character?
Yeah.
Man, I don't even know. I'm just gonna go with the classic, man. I love Mickey.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Actually, no. Let me rephrase that. I do love Mickey, but I think my all-time favorite is Goofy. I used to love watching the shorts back in the day, and when he falls off of cliffs and stuff. I can't do it, but
I know. I love that. That's why Goofy's one of my favorites. I love those old shorts, and I love those cartoons. Those are great.
Yeah, they're good.
All right, Brian, what are we missing? I feel like we're missing something.
That's what I was doing. I was kind of going back to the chat, I thought there was another question, but I guess not. No, that's it.
Yeah, okay. So now let's move to the fun part.
Fun for who?
Fun for us.
For everybody.
Okay.
It's fun for everybody. All right. So, Brian, you want to start her off? Go ahead.
One must go.
You're going to go. One must go.
One must go.
Okay.
And the way this works is one must go. So you can only keep one. The other one has to go forever.
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, I'm just gonna dive right in. Mickey Pretzel or the Dole Whip.
Ooh. With pepper jack. Got that cheese.
Okay. Even though I love it, I know these questions hurt. Elle, this is bad. That's really mean. Even though the pretzel's ahead in my opinion a little bit, I'm gonna say it must go because Dole Whip is so much harder to get a hold of other places. I can't have it at home unless I make it, and I'm not going to do that. So,
right.
Well, yeah, and even at the Birmingham Zoo, they have what they call Dole Whips.
It's not the same.
It's not. Elle's got the next one for you: Cinderella's Castle or Sleeping Beauty's Castle. That one probably won't be too hard for you, honestly.
I would keep Cinderella's Castle. Cinderella's Castle is much more majestic. Sleeping Beauty's it's beautiful, but it's not the same. It's not as grand.
All right. Would you rather Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party or Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party?
I would rather Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party. I enjoyed it more than the Halloween party.
Really? That's interesting.
It is.
Yeah.
Because I was the opposite. I mean, I love the Christmas party, but
we found they had so many different unique things going on at the Christmas party that we weren't expecting. And hey, have you ever heard of Voice Play? They had them out on a stage. They're this a cappella group. They were amazing. It's our favorite thing of the party. I'm sorry, Elle. Well, I mean, the trick-or-treating's nice, but we don't eat the candy, or we eat very little of it. And, I ended up giving a lot of it away.
Well, you give it away to trick-or-treaters.
Yeah. I put it out on my desk at work. It was gone the next day. They're animals.
Oh, wow. All right, Brian, you got another one?
Would you rather Flight of Passage or Rise?
I would rather Flight of Passage. I would rather Flight of Passage. Yeah.
There you go. See, James?
Really?
Everybody loves Passage. James said, I can't ride them too big.
I mean,
I get it.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, something about Flight of Passage with the scents and the sea spray. And it's like soaring. It's the feeling of flying, which I really dig that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, but on Rise, you actually feel like you're being shot at. Like, I still swear you can see the lasers go by.
Well, when we were creating those memes and I made that one that says, I'm in danger. Like, that's what I felt like. And it was very intense. And maybe that's why I picked Flight, is because it was a little more relaxing. I didn't feel like I was going to die. Right.
Elle asked, would you rather Tower of Terror or Everest? And then she says, there's only one right answer.
and she's correct. Tower of Terror is the right answer. Everest is so much fun, but Tower of Terror gets me every time.
Yeah. I don't know. That's tough. That is real.
I'm glad this isn't real. I'm glad it's not real, because I don't know if I could really live in the world where I had to take one away and not do it ever. But they're both great.
Okay. So,
what about you, Jay?
Moving along. The show is about Evie, Brian.
I know.
The show is about her.
I can share. You can tell me. You won't hurt my feelings.
I
Already
really
said I love them both.
Look at that face. He's struggling right now.
I don't know. I honestly, like, I'm at a loss.
That's a hard one. That
is really hard. Yeah.
He's lost for words.
I don't know how she chose so easily.
Only because I love Tower of Terror that much. That's why. Even if I loved it a little bit less, it would have been harder.
So this is how I'm making my decision. Okay, because they're both so amazing, both so incredibly themed. You get a thrill on, a great thrill on both of them, right? I'm about to get kicked by Elle. Elle's going to start threatening to kick and punch me, but I'm going to choose Everest for this. And the winning factor for me is, we rode Everest in September with Jameson, and we got off. We came out of the gift shop, and Jameson was talking about how much he loved the ride. And there's a cast member walking in, and he said, we was looking at the Disney app to see what the wait time was, and it was already at like an hour. And I was like, we'll try again later. This cast member comes up. He's like, hey, y'all want to ride again without having to wait in that line? And took us right to the front with him. So that's how I'm making my decision. We get that little bit of extra pixie dust there. We'll go with that. And I have just been canceled. I just got canceled by Elle.
No, we don't live in the cancel culture. We're not going to do that here. We will be mad at you for a little while, but it's okay. We'll forgive you eventually.
All right, Brian. So now we got to go to you. What about you? Tower of Terror, Everest?
I'm going to say Everest. Let's go.
Huh?
Yeah, I love Everest, but the theming and everything with Tower of Terror, man, it's fantastic.
Look, one time I was there before training, and I got there a day early, and I was by myself again. So I popped in, had an extra day ticket, just went in for the day for a few hours at Hollywood Studios. This was years ago. And I went and I rode Tower of Terror. And I was by myself, and it was really crowded, and I was right next to this guy. And, he was a big guy, and I was like, I'm so scared. And he was like, oh, okay, it's fine. This is how it works. I was like, no, I've read this like 20 times, but I get like this every time. And I'm sitting here ready to hyperventilate on this guy. On a ride I've read 20 times, but that's the reason I love it so much, is because I still get that feeling, even after all this time. I still freak out before I ride it.
I can see that. I freak out before we rode Rock and Roller Coaster about 7 times on our trip in September, and every time I was like, "What am I doing?" Like, you see when you're in the queue, you see when you're in the queue and you see that one take off there, and it's like, "Oh no, why am I doing this to myself?"
Right.
Yeah. All right. Elle's got an important question. One must go. James or Brian?
You don't have to answer that.
No, I can't do it.
I feel like
you know how much Jay antagonizes me, and some of the stuff he comes after me for on Facebook page. Have you seen the gifts he sends when I'm just trying to be nice, and then he pushes my butt until I have to be mean to him? I mean, I'm not going to have that.
What? Oh my goodness!
You started it. You did.
Oh me. Anyways, now I've been canceled by Elle.
I don't think I can do it. These guys are. I don't think I can answer it. I'm sorry. That's the one I won't answer. It'll be good. They're both great. Ooh, Jay has a sultry voice.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Trip Billy Girl. All right. Monorail or
Skyline? Okay. It's hard. Monorail classic. It's a very unique and Disney thing for most people. That's the only place they'll ever ride a monorail. Skyliner's new, fresh, exciting, and you flying, which I've already told you guys I really dig. I think I'm gonna go Skyliner. I think I like that feeling. I like usually being the only family in the car. Yeah, I like that flying feeling. I'm gonna go with Skyliner. Keep it.
And then
Monorail
even when it stops for a little bit, it's usually if they're having to help get a stroller off or a wheelchair or something, it's really not that bad. And I kind of like the swaying feeling that, it's just a slight little swaying feeling. But you've got an incredible view that you're not going to get any other way.
No, yeah, that's right. Now, the one thing, the highly redeeming part of the monorail is that view you get when you come around and you see the castle from the windows. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. But then going into Epcot, you've got Spaceship Earth, you've got the Eiffel Tower when you're coming in, and that's coming in on the monorail.
Yeah.
Or, the Skyliner, I'm sorry.
On the Skyliner,
so,
yeah.
Rock and Roller Coaster or Rise? Ooh.
I really love Rock and Roller Coaster, but I think I'll pick Rise on that one. I think I'll keep Rise.
You're going to keep Rise over Rock and Roller Coaster?
I think so.
Lisa said that she pleased the fifth. Yeah, so that would be I would have to say I would let Rise go, honestly.
Rock and Roller Coaster is pretty amazing. So, but
yeah, and Rise is great, but we've got that same technology over in Mickey and Minnie. In Mickey and Minnie's, that rewritability. There we go. Same technology, same sort of ride. Mickey and Minnie's or Rise. Would you rather?
I think I'd pick Mickey and Minnie over Rise to keep. I think, but I do like that classic. I like that cartoon feel. I'm very whimsical. I like that.
Yeah.
That's
the same feeling I got. Brian gave me a lot of grief about that when I originally told him Mickey and Minnie's over Rise, but that's how it is. You got to, and Brian hadn't had a chance he hadn't had either one of them yet, but this is
our
Mickey
vacation
and Minnie's
canceled this year.
Sorry, man.
Tiffany agrees. She said, "Sorry, man." That's harsh. All right, Brian, you got any more?
Let's see here.
Hit her with a hard one.
All right. Would you rather Grand Floridian or the Polynesian?
With room upgrades, are we talking with the upgrades done, the rooms are refreshed?
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Poly. If I stayed at the Poly with my family, I would have a hard time leaving it to go into the parks. I just love the way it feels there.
Really?
Grand Floridian is gorgeous. I've never stayed there, but I can imagine it's superb. So, it's hard to say for sure, but I don't know. I don't feel as relaxed when I go in the lobby of the Grand Floridian.
Gotcha.
It's almost too big.
It's almost too big and almost too fancy.
Yeah.
Like, I feel out of place. Like, this Bama boy should not be in there.
Yeah. Now my husband loves the lobby. He likes to go. He said he'd like to stay there, and that was one of the ones he's got on his list. I guess we'll have to try it out someday.
The only time I would have to stay at the Grand Floridian would be Christmas time. With the gingerbread house. Because as soon as you walk in, you get that smell.
You smell it. You don't even have to walk all the way in the door, and it hits you. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is. All right. And I agree with 8-Bit Vacations. They said we stay in the teepees.
Yeah, I've stayed every level. There's nothing wrong with any level. I tell my clients, it's about what's best for your family. And I always like to kind of try to step up at least one step from where I started planning, but that doesn't always work out. And sometimes we decide to take some of that money and put toward a next vacation, and maybe we'll stay in so we're nicer next time. But we've gotten the chance to stay at some nice places. But we still go back to Pop. We still go back to. We really enjoyed Grand Destino Tower. I don't know if anybody else has gotten to stay there yet, but it's moderately priced. But it's very, very swanky. It has a really nice feel to it.
Swanky. I hadn't heard that word in a while.
Yeah, swanky. It does. It has a really nice feel to it. I see it. Wilderness Lodge or AK Lodge. Ooh. Okay, I'm going to say if you've got the money to upgrade to Savannah, then Animal Kingdom Lodge, hands down. Get that Savannah view, hang out on your balcony and watch animals from there. Yes. But Wilderness Lodge has a really nice price point sometimes, depending on the time of year. And being able to take the boat over to Magic Kingdom is amazing. So if I was going to go, like talking about for myself, I'd probably stay Wilderness Lodge.
Interesting. I got to stay at Animal Kingdom Lodge. But like you said, it's got to be the Savannah room.
Yeah.
And and I think for the Magic and Mickey page, I used some of your pictures from when y'all were over there, the Savannah room, and had the drafts over there near y'all and everything. And that
was a long time ago.
But it was a long time ago. Yeah. And 8-Bit says we're all stars in my family.
Nothing wrong with an all-star. Do it. If it gets you there and you get to stay on property, do it.
Yeah.
No shame. But I mean, our family has kind of graduated up as we've gone along, but we'll stay at a Pop. But, I like to just try new things.
Yeah.
My brother's been probably 100 times, and they always stay at the All Stars. They love it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, it might be time for him to try to move up one.
No, he
try to get him in Destino Tower.
He's staying in Caribbean Beach in December, so it's a little upgrade.
And it's and you got Skyliner access.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is really cool.
Yeah, and Skyliner really is. I mean that. I don't know that I want to stay anywhere off the Skyliner or Monorail Loop.
Mm-hmm.
We were going to stay at Port Orleans Riverside in September, but it wasn't open.
Right.
Main reason we want to stay over there, or I wanted to stay over there, was be easy to go see Yeehaw Bob. Another depressing, thanks 2020.
Yeah.
But we ended up at Caribbean Beach and just staying on the Skyliner again. We stayed at Pop in December, and it's hard to beat the Skyliner. Just even on your off days, you just go ride the Skyliner.
Yeah.
And it's just tough to beat. I don't know if I could stay off the Skyliner again.
We really enjoyed that.
Being
able to just walk out and jump on it was really cool.
I haven't gotten to do the Skyliner yet. We stayed at Caribbean Beach in October of last year. I think it was the week it opened, or the week after it opened, and it crashed. It crashed the night we got there.
I remember that. Yeah.
That was scary.
Oh, man.
All right. So, Brian, you got any more questions? Eileen just dropped in to say hello.
Yeah.
Hello, Eileen. I miss you, girl. That's my girl.
I honestly could not imagine going to training with Eileen and Evie. I feel like that would be extremely overwhelming.
Yeah. I'm sure it probably would be. I feel sorry for everybody else. I mean, I'm pretty calm in person. I feel like I play the diplomat role pretty well, and I'm pretty chill. I like to pick at people, but, like good-naturedly, and mostly just James.
All right, I got one for you. What's your favorite section of Magic Kingdom, since that's your favorite part?
Ooh.
Okay. That's not really hard. That's Fantasyland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could spend most of the day there. Now, I do really enjoy Adventureland as well, but Magic Kingdom wins.
Yeah, just Magic Kingdom overall. So. All right. So, anything else?
Magical.
Eileen said we had a blast.
We did have a blast. A lot of stuff happened. I made a special video for Eileen and Myrna Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I can't share it.
That week
No.
I was living for Eileen's live videos.
That was amazing. Yeah.
Those were, I mean, seriously, those could have been pay-per-view. I mean,
Man, if we'd only
were
thought of
so
charging,
good.
that would have been great.
I know, right? Brian LS, do you have any last parting words of wisdom?
No. Nope.
Yeah. Hey, I'll throw some in. Book your trips. Get them booked. Start paying on them now. Plan ahead. Go ahead and travel. Travel. Hey, look, we have a special guest.
Hey, just like the countdown video says, might have some special guests. Hey, buddy. Hey. All right. Yeah, and if you want to go, see what Evie's been up to, you can follow her on Facebook. Just by looking up Evie and Nate Hillis, Magic and Mickey Travel. We have all of her information in the show notes. We have her Facebook, her website, and we also have her email address, which is Evie, EVIE, at magicandmickey.com. Again, that's Evie at magicandmickey.com. All right. Anything else y'all want to throw out there before we wrap it up?
No, it's great. Been great. Thanks for having me.
All righty. Well, Evie, we really appreciate you being a Patreon of the podcast. It helps out a lot. We're, originally it got us this streaming ability. And we now we're growing a little more. So we're going to start upgrading some of Brian's equipment, get that microphone a little closer to him.
Cool.
Mr. Mike Nazi, I can't help it, but whatever. That's what Sarah calls me. She fusses at me all the time because I'm mad at her, about her mic, but it makes a difference. All right, Brian, last chance. Any parting?
No.
All right. Well, sometimes at the end of the show, you'll be like, oh man, I should have asked this.
Yeah. So. It is one of those things. I'm kind of speechless right now. What? Oh, okay. I got it. The Magic of Mickey travel agents that we work for this company. It's a great company, but the Evie is one of them. Monday, Jessica, all these people, they are just fantastic and top notch in my book. Even as an agent, just the amount of support that you get is just, it's second to none. It's fantastic. So, yeah.
Well, and you say company, but I think you can easily replace that with family.
You could.
Mm-hmm.
Because, here's the thing is not one person is going to be able to know absolutely everything when it comes to getting a trip planned. We're all going to have questions. We're all going to have brain farts,
Yeah.
There's going to be things that happen, and we have a private group where we can go to each other and ask questions. And if you don't have an answer within 5 minutes, that's extremely rare.
Yeah.
Everybody's always willing to help each other. So
yeah,
that's why I say it doesn't matter who you book with at Magic and Mickey, you're going to get top class service. You're going to get all, any question you have. You can throw out the most random question and somebody's going to have an answer for it.
Yeah, I was going to say somebody's going to know the answer. So,
and we was even having a discussion.
I think we figured out. Oh, I was going to say how many decades of experience as a group we have, and it's pretty impressive.
It is.
And things are always changing. So just because one of us has the answer one time, you guys have jumped in. You guys have helped out with other people and answered questions. It really is like a family.
It is.
And I love that.
Yeah, that's great.
It is tough to beat. And that's why, we are more than happy to be there. And while we just want to represent as a whole the entire agency.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even 40. Why would you even say that? You're getting me confused with Brian over there. He's all righty.
That's true.
Let's go ahead. Let's wrap this thing up. If you're not following us on Facebook or Instagram, go ahead and jump over there. Facebook is easy. Mouse Ears and Magic Podcast. Instagram, Mouse Ears and Magic Pod with an underscore in between each word. If you want to become a Patreon member, you can do so at patreon.com/Mouse Ears and Magic Pod. And when you're ready to book that next Disney trip, go to magicamickey.com and fill out that free quote request form. You can check out any of our great agents. Obviously, we have Evie. You've heard from Christina. You've heard from Abby, Caitlin, and then you've got myself and Brian. So we're loaded. All you got to do is go fill out that form, and we'll be getting back to you as soon as possible. If y'all don't have anything else, we'll go ahead and wrap this up for Evie, Brian, the missing Sarah. Hopefully she's doing okay on her test because I'm tired of paying for college. We'll be talking to you real soon.